Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for today's preview as Cardiff welcome Connacht in the first round of the United Rugby Championship on day one, the 8:30 South African time kickoff or 7:30 kickoff depending on where you are in the world. And it should be a very interesting game, and it's the first couple of rounds we're not going to see the strongest sides for many of the teams. A lot of international players either currently on duty if they're the Southern Hemisphere teams or else sometimes quite a few of the international players from the Northern Hemisphere sides are quite late coming back. The likes of the British and Irish Lions tourist obviously had a bit of an extended holiday after the Lions tour and are only sort of getting back to full training now. So we're not necessarily seeing the strongest sides at the moment, but we're still seeing quite a lot of very good players. And also it's a nice opportunity to sort of see some of the other players that we might not see as much of when we get to sort of the crux stages of the competition. But it's a very nice introduction to be able to sort of look at some of these sides, be able to see some of the players that are worth watching and worth keeping an eye on, as well as sort of seeing some of the youngsters coming through and players that we might sort of see in a couple of years' time and sort of identify sort of the next generation. You think about the World Cup in 2 years' time, and after that we will start seeing new generations coming across all different teams. So it's a very nice opportunity when it comes to the URC to be able to see the next generation of Welsh players, of Irish players, of Scottish players, of Italian players, alongside the next generation of South African players. So this competition definitely does sort of broaden our horizons quite a bit. Now, we unfortunately will not be live for this game. We'll be doing the Ulster versus Glasgow game, which we put it to a vote, and that was the game that people wanted us to do more. So I'll be live for that game. So you won't be able to cover this game live. But in terms of the teams that we will see tomorrow, we'll start with the home side, which is Cardiff, who will be captained by Josh Turnbull in the number 6 jumper. 13 caps for Wales, 33 years old, plenty of experience, and he'll bring a very calm head. Looking at this Cardiff side, it's a very experienced side in that it's quite an old side, to be honest. If you're looking at the starting lineup, only 2 players below the age of 25. Quite a few players sitting in the 30s, a bit more sort of youth off the bench. But it's a side of a lot of players who should be playing, either sort of in their sort of peaks of their careers or else sort of towards the sort of latter stages of their career where you can start putting those 13, 14 years of professional rugby into use in terms of understanding how the game works. So if we look at the lineup going through the front row, we've got Corey Domachowski, the 25-year-old Welsh prop, is next to Kirby Myhill, who's the 29-year-old hooker, and they are joined by 32-year-old Moldovan tight prop, Dimitri Arup, who has got 20 caps for Moldova. Not a big sort of rugby playing nation, but between those sort of three, plenty of years of playing experience, and they're backed up by the likes of Seth Davies, who's got 9 Welsh caps to his name, and Matthew Screech, who brings in a lot of weight between those two, 119, 118 kgs. Seth Davies is well over 2 meters tall, so quite a lot of sort of bulk in that second row. It's the loose trio, I think, which is going to be quite an exciting watch for Cardiff. You're looking at the likes of Josh Turnbull, he's obviously got 13 caps for Wales. Ellis Jenkins has got 11 caps for Wales, 28 years old. And then you got James Ratty, who is 23 years old, the youngest of a player in the pack, at 117 kg at the back of the scrum, a very, very big unit. All the loose forwards there are over 100 kg, so there is a very big physical pack from Cardiff. We're looking at the halfback pairing. It is sort of there's sort of the shining light, I suppose, if you're looking at this Cardiff side on paper. You've got Lloyd Williams, who's played 31 games for Wales. He's got over 225 caps for Cardiff. He is Cardiff through and through. The 34-year-old stalwart will be a major part. And he is next to the big, very exciting Rhys Prisland, who's got 50 caps for Wales, and he's returned from Bath. He is back. He's amassed over 1,000 points for Scarlets. He was at Scarlets. He's just joined from Bath now. And he is probably, sort of the big X factor that needs to bring. He's 34 years old, sort of bringing the sort of curtain down on a pretty illustrious career. Lloyd Williams being 31. So lots of experience between the two of them, boasting almost 100 international caps between them. And that sort of pivot will have to really work very well tomorrow to try and get a result against Connacht. The 2 wings tomorrow will be Jason Harries, 32 years old, who's got former Wales Sevens experience. And then the other wing on the other team will be Owen Lane, the 23-year-old 100 kg wing, so packs quite a punch there. The centres will be Willis Halaholo, Tonga under 20, but has gone on to play 5 games for Wales. And then the very, very experienced Ray Lilo, who's got 25 caps for Samoa. He's played for the Hurricanes before, as well as the Crusaders. And the team is rounded off by the very experienced Helen Amos, who is 26 years old. He's got 25 caps to his name. So it's sort of a plethora of international players in and around the side. Quite a lot of experience coming off the bench. You've got Liam Bulcher, who's played a lot of rugby around. Rhys Carey's got 13 caps for Wales, a young budding sort of up and coming loose hip prop who played for Saracens previously for a year stint and is now back with Cardiff. And then the last prop is Dylan Lewis, who's got 28 caps for Wales at tight head. Elsewhere, Roy Thornton and Will Boyd will cover the rest of the scrum. Tomo Williams is a very exciting scrum half to come off the bench. He's sort of the perfect replacement. So, to have Lloyd Williams and Tomo Williams in sort of the same side, it's a very nice sort of succession plan. And Tomo Williams is one of those players who just has a knack for scoring tries. He's got 9 international tries across 23 matches for Wales. So he scores a match more than once every third game. Jared Evans, 25-year-old Flav, got 6 caps to his name as well. And then watch out for Max Llewellyn, who is got 22 years old, is the youngest player in the 23, a very exciting talent. Also, 104 kgs, quite a big ball carrier, a very big player, so very interesting to see what he does there. And now in terms for the away side, and that would be Connacht for tomorrow. The front row will be Matthew Burke, Shane Delahunt, and Finlay Beelum. Finlay Beelum with got 14 caps to his name. 24-year-old Matthew Burke, 27-year-old Shane Delahunt. So quite established sort of front row in those two, and very, very talented tight sort of in the tight five. You got the likes of Oyston Dowling, who's 24 years old, and then you got Alton Delane, who's got 19 caps for Ireland. He's played for the Barbarians as well, so he's got quite a few feathers in his cap. Both those locks sort of sitting at about 198, 196, but Delane, in fact, bringing sort of 114 kgs to the party. We talked about how all the loose forwards were over 100 kgs for Cardiff, much the same for Connacht. Cian Prendergast has got has 105 kg, 21-year-olds, 1.96, very exciting former Ireland under 20 player. You've got Conor Oliver, who played quite a lot of rugby for Munster. And then Jared Butler, who sort of rounds out the loose trio, the former Australian, well, he is Australian, former Australian under 20 and former Barbarians player as well, will be at 8th man. 30 years old, brings a lot of experience as well to the party. Then you got Kieran Momian and Jack Carty, both Irish international, 28 caps for Momian and 10 caps for Carty. Very, very experienced players there. And those are sort of the positions you want to have experience. You want to make sure that your 9-10 combination have got experience and have got and can play at the highest level, because those two are, that's where your games sort of run. Those two are on song in front of a decent pack, and you've got some good runners in the backline, which Connacht do. That becomes a very dangerous combination. Moving into the back line, you've got Mac Hansen and John Porch as the two wings. John Porch got 26 caps for Australia, former Oz and Sevens player as well. In the midfield, Tom Daly, Tom Farrell. Tom Daly, 106 kgs, packs quite a punch. And at fullback, Tiernan O'Halloran with 8 caps for Ireland. He's got almost 190 caps for Connacht, so brings a lot of experience, does the 30-year-old. And then off the bench, a little bit more sort of youthful than the Cardiff bench, you've got Dave Heffernan, who brings the experience with 6 Irish caps and a former Barbarians cap as well. And then the likes of Jordan Duggan, 23 years old, Dominic Robertson McCoy, 27 years old, but then the 21-year-old Niall Murray, who's 110 kg, very exciting. Look out for their Ireland under 20 as well. A position where they'd like to sort of see more locks coming through. I think with Ian Henderson playing so well, it's sort of now becoming a case of how many people can sort of follow in his footsteps, and then how many sort of top quality locks can Ireland produce. Elsewhere, you've got Paul Boyle, 24-year-old, he's got his cap for Ireland earlier this year. Hubert Gilvery, he's come through the academy. Conor Fitzgerald, and then Sammy Arnold, who's also got the 1 cap for Ireland a while ago and will want to try and sort of play himself into the side and get himself back into sort of national selection. So those are the 2 sides for tomorrow. Let me know what your score predictions are down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video as well. My name is Stephen. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll chat to you soon.